What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Jehu Film. I'm Joshua Thomas, and I'm here to, well, talk about the front of this Polaroid I2. You see, I've always been intrigued with the fact that you can put filters on the front of this camera. Any 49mm filter can go on the front of this, and I figured it was designed for things like polarization filters or maybe just some color shifting filters. But what if we could put some kind of zoom adapter on here? And that's what we're going to experiment with today. You see, I've got this little thing right here. Here we go. And we're going to see what we can do with this thing. It is called a Linxen. It is called a Linxing, never heard of that, 49mm Pro Digital Precision Teleconverter 2X AF thing. AF has always stood for autofocus, so I don't know what they mean by this, but we can take the rear cap off. It is a 49mm diameter thread, so it can go on the front thread of our i2. And so don't be fooled by the 49mm. That doesn't mean its focal length. It is just talking about its diameter for its inside ring or its inside threads. So yeah, we're gonna put this on the camera and we're gonna see if we can do anything with it. Well, we're gonna see if it works. Now, one of the fears that I have with this lens, and when I was looking at it, trying to figure out what kind of converter I was gonna get, was that the focus sensors are right here. Oh, come on, full focus camera, there we go. The focus sensors are right here, and this lens kind of blocks them a little bit. It also blocks the viewfinder a little bit, and yeah, when I look down it, I can definitely see the corner of the lens converter. Definitely can see the 2X converter in my viewfinder, but let's see how that's going to work. The flash is not on, so the flash isn't going to be an issue when we're doing outdoor shots. All right, let's see how the rangefinder works. Let's see if it'll actually get past the lens. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to aim it at something close up. And it says 0.6 meters. Now I'm going to aim far away. And yes, we do have the over 8 meters indicator. So I guess these rangefinders aren't blocked by the little bulbous nature of this lens. So that's a good thing. Let's find something in between. I'm gonna aim at my house, and it does say 1.7 meters. So the rangefinder still works around this thing, and I'm really thrilled about that. So I'm gonna put this at f. What's my f-stop? I can go up to f22. I think f22 is pretty good. I can go as high as f64, but 22 should be good. The reason I'm going to do that is because the higher your f-stop, the more likely you are to be able to get stuff in focus. So it's more likely to be sharper, and with this on here, I don't know what kind of focus we're going to get, but let's find out. So as you can see here, this lens does actually magnify, whether it's 2 times or not, I don't know, but you can see it's definitely making my eye bigger. And yes, as I look through it, the camera is closer to me. Once again, whether it's 2 times or not, I don't know. But also, when I look through it, I do notice that around the edges of this lens, there is some definite aberration going on and a little bit of blurring, and I imagine that's also going to show up in the Polaroid pictures as well. So I'll let you guys see here. Hey, can you see me? Yep. Woo. It's not too noticeable, but it's a difference. It is a difference. So let's put this on my Polaroid I2 and see what it does. I do want to say that it is going to be difficult to judge whether this thing is going to take a good photo or not, because it does focus using this rangefinder instead of through the lens. So putting this lens on the front could affect its focal distance. So let's see. We're also going to shoot something way close up, which is right here. You can see these flowers right here, and we're going to see just how close we can get. But we're also going to shoot another photo at infinity, so a building that's very far away. So let's see how this looks. I imagine it's also going to be a little bit darker, because whenever we extend a lens, the lens tends to let in less light, so I'm going to be curious to see how that turns out. So I am at f/22 because hopefully that'll give it the best focus, and I'm also at 1/50th shutter speed, and I am showing a little underexposed, so because there's this extra added lens, I'm going to give it a +1 on the exposure compensation. Let's see what happens. And I'm also just, once again, super close. I'm getting the indicator that I'm under 0.4 meters, so we'll see how this affects the shot. Here you can see what my next shot is going to be. So we're going to take a shot of this research facility. I think we're going to get plenty of light on this particular shot. So I have set my exposure comp back to 0. F is still at 22, and we're still at 1/50th shutter speed, but our exposure compensation is much closer to 0, so I think we're going to be good for this one. And also, the focus is at infinity, so let's get this shot. In my meter it says over 8 meters, so we're going to take this shot right here. And there we have it, right there. Well, you just saw the shot of the science building that I took, and you can definitely tell that it was very overexposed. The shadows, on the other hand, looked pretty good, but the rest of it definitely overexposed, and you definitely see that vignette that it has around it. So I didn't film this part because I wanted to get out there and quickly get it before the sun changed too much, and unfortunately I just ran out of time. So I went back out on a separate day and got this photo. Now this photo was at EX -2, but my meter was plus 0.7-ish. It was almost +1, so I'm gonna just guesstimate and say it was somewhere around 0.7 or 0.8. And I got this shot, and this was even worse. And that's because on that different day it was brighter outside and a slightly different time of day, so the sun was acting more like a spotlight for me. And I believe I know why my meter was at +7 and I had an exposure compensation of -2, and yet it still came out this bad. And that is because of where the light sensor is on the i2. You see, the light sensor on the i2 is inside here, and it is within or very close to where the vignette happens on this camera, meaning that the light sensor is getting less light than the film is getting, because once again, it is probably right on the edge or maybe even inside of the vignette that is created by this lens. So I had to go out one more time, and this time I got pretty extreme with it, and the outcome was pretty good though. It was, where is it at? Here we go. So I had to expose this. I once again had it at f/22, but then I moved my shutter speed to 1/160th. I had my exposure meter at a -1 and my exposure comp at a -2 for a total of -3 on the exposure compensation. And well, this turned out perfect. The exposure was incredible. So whenever you add this lens and you're thinking about getting some outdoor shots, you're definitely going to have to go with a -3 exposure, especially when you're in bright sunlight, because once again, the light meter that is located underneath this lens but inside here is not getting enough light to make an accurate reading. Nevertheless, this 2x converter does work. You can get photos with this converter. So, will I use it more? I'm not sure. I'm sure I'll come up with some things that I want to get photos of. They're perhaps a little bit further away and I wish they were a little bit closer. But yeah, you can use this, understand its limitations and where it excels, and it works. You can use this. I thought this was a fun little experiment. I'm sure one day I will indeed use this more often. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and check out more on Jehu Film. Got more Polaroid videos to come. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.